Namaste, friends. It's Stacy going live. Happy Beltane. Today we are talking about Shakti. What is Shakti and what can it do for me? So typically we would identify Shakti as a creative feminine energy, since the feminine is the one that typically gives birth. We associate with Mother Earth, the creatrix, that unconditionally loving, juicy energy that we all adore, that we really live our life for. I think sometimes we run into challenges because this is not just a feminine energy. It is also in, or associated with women. It's also in men. And we see it a lot when men are fathers, or they're caring for their children, or maybe their pets. So I think first, to really explore non-dual Shaktiism, it's good to look at how we often think. Perhaps we say, this is good, this is bad. Or maybe as a child, we would say, this is the self, this is other. But really within Shaktiism, as Shivism, really Shiva and Shakti, the masculine and feminine, are one. And it is important for us to find union with each other and in the universe for that sacred energy to really exist. So if we look at sort of the Shiva energy is the sacred container, or the structure that holds space for the creative energy. So without Shiva, Shakti cannot create. And so the Shiva is skillful action, and Shakti is often thought as wisdom. So Tantra is actually a means to weave, transform, or expand. So it's not just about sex, but with Tantra, that's a way that we can, sexuality is a way that we can relate to it, because sexuality takes us to our greatest heights in connection and love. Sexuality is the easiest and most fun means to experience this union. This is why most of us crave it and are constantly seeking powerful feelings that it evokes. So in every moment of our life force energy is expanding or contracting, based mostly on external stimulus and situations in our life, and ultimately the level of consciousness we have been marinating in. And one thing I have done in my life in terms of looking at duality is maybe blaming the masculine for circumstances. And I realized that's actually a very dualistic way of thinking. And really what's needed is for us to find compassion for each other, regardless of our gender identity. So when I say feminine energy, please know that I'm talking about everyone. So Shakti is feminine energy that is in everyone. And it's been diminished and stifled for thousands of years. So this is not anyone's fault, but ultimately our true power has also been stifled by outdated power structures and limited levels of consciousness that currently rule the world. So some of us might think something is missing. And we're going through this mass initiation where we're experiencing our shadow self. But now is a time where when we're feeling that something missing, and we're thinking, what can I create in this new world? The cool thing is that we're all doing this together. We're experiencing a mass awakening together. So we're actually moving into what the rishis call the age of enlightenment, or the age of Aquarius. And in order for us to fulfill our true purpose and our true mission, we need to wake up that inner fire, the inner transformative force in everyone called Shakti. So Beltane is actually a perfect day to think about this, because in Celtic culture, perhaps we would build a bonfire, we'd have a feast, we'd frolic around the fire, and we would explore our sexuality. And I think sexuality is often how it comes out. So often, many times before we even know ourselves, we're projecting our Shakti, or sexual energy out. And we often mistake that amazing feeling that we get when we're falling in love or we're sexually attracted to someone as being about them, when actually that transformative force is about us. And the opportunity is for us to nurture, cultivate it, and harness it to create our heart's desires. So in order to do this, we must let go of our limited self-perceptions that are basically just not true. We're all part of the birth of a new consciousness, which is Shakti, within our individual selves, as well as our collective society. This new world is literally waking us up from a dream of our limitations. So bottom line is, the guru is within. The sacred feminine is within, regardless of our gender, and is the foundation of Tantra yoga. So I'm going to ask a couple of coaching questions. Do you feel like you have more to offer the world, but your creativity has been stifled? Do you wish you were spending more time doing the things that you really love, such as being in nature, dancing, creating art, or writing, but you feel like something might be stopping you? Would you like to live your life from the inside out? If so, then I welcome you to get in touch with that Shakti energy. And it's an energy that you can feel. Maybe if you've taken a yoga class, it's that it's an energy you feel a lot in the base of your spine. And ultimately it rises up your spine and out your crown chakra. And Shakti literally means power. It is the power that creates the entire universe and is also our life force energy, or some might call it Kundalini. So when we practice Tantra or sacred embodiment, we actually get in touch with that Shakti in a conscious way. Or when we set our intentions clearly and we clear our mind, we're actually engaging that Shakti, because everything that we have in our life is an external representation of our level of consciousness. So Shakti is really your innate intelligence and raw activating power within you that is available for your awakening. So if your growth path is not supporting you in activating your Shakti energy, then you might wish to make some adjustments. The truth is that nothing outside you will ever give you a sense of self. You are your own guru and unlimited creatrix. Shakti power is your rocket fuel, and the entire universe is your creative partner. This power within literally guides you, loves you, and supports you in becoming who you were born to be in this world. Which is what we all are here for, right? It's like, why are we here? We have to live our own true purpose. So with Shakti Tribe, our role is to support you in creating a partnership with this powerful energy. And it's not a religion. It's just really, you are your own teacher. So some of our practices will help you learn to tune more into the subtle world or the energy world. So like Einstein said that basically everything is energy, and that's it. So that's Shakti. That's what literally creates the manifest universe. So if you take our trainings, you'll find where Shakti is in your body. You'll identify what blocks your power. You'll learn powerful practices to release anxiety, heal trauma, activate more of your life force energy, and bring blood to your brain and build receptivity. So a lot of it is indeed receptivity, because we're often reacting to what's outside of us all the time versus being receptive and sort of listening to our inner wisdom. We encourage you to develop a daily practice which allows you to consistently cultivate and utilize your superpowers. So Tantra is actually a healing medicine. It's less about being in our head, more about being in our bodies, hence sacred embodiment. My daughter came up with a really great thing. She said, go with the flow and don't overthink it. It's a great way to describe Shakti energy, because it's literally like being a receiver of information from the universe as your creative partner. So I'm going to have a training on the wisdom goddesses and how to use them as creative partners. And the wisdom goddesses actually just represent our own creative force in different archetypes. So it doesn't really matter what you believe spiritually, what you want to call it. Your higher power might be Jesus, Mother Mary, Buddha. It doesn't matter. You might just say you feel like you're lucky. It's actually energy within you, reflected by the universe. So it's about building receptivity towards our nature and our beingness. So developing Shakti and Tantra is really an art and a science and a yogic practice about where your attention goes, energy flows, and hence you create. It's a means to get inside the love inside of you. So some might ask, well, how do we actually get more in touch with that? And I think the best thing to do is just to absolutely fall in love with everything. We could really, it's really being in the present moment. And it might be being with our pet, really connecting deeply with our animal, or it might be eating something very, very, very slowly, perhaps taking a piece of chocolate, or watching a sunset, or of course, making love, as maybe we would many, many years ago on Beltane, celebrating in community. So these are the things that I believe that are coming in our new world. It's about cooperation with everyone, for us to see ourselves in everyone and everything. That is really the creative life force energy, or Shakti. And it's actually about being in the present moment. So please join us for our classes, our trainings. And as we bring Shakti Tribe into the world, our goal is to create community around sacred embodiment and ancient made modern tantric practices. The bottom line is, you are in the universe and the universe is in you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Namaste.